Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Abid Khan from Okta Networks. So we continue with the topic BGP. Yesterday there was a sudden power failure in anyways, but our lecture time was already up. Is the audio clear? Okay. Those of you who are not able to hear me, please check on your end because other students they are able to hear me. So let us see the topology. Okay, the same topology which I used yesterday. I'll be sharing this topology with you. I'll share the configuration files with you. All right. At the end of the session, I'll try to share. Once the session is over, hold down in the group. I'll share the topology, the diagram, the topology, and configs for this all these routers. And let's have this as a standard that every time I have to share, I will be sharing it at the end of the session, not in the middle of the session. So R6 in AS6 it is pairing with R3 in AS2. I just made a small changes instead of 600, 200, 100. I made them as what 6 2 so that it becomes easy to type the AS numbers. So yesterday I had explained you two attributes: origin code and AS path list. Okay, origin code and AS path list. In origin code, I already explained you what is the meaning of I and what is the meaning of question mark. And in AS path list, I already explained you what is the behavior of AS path prepending. We were configuring just to show you one-time configuration. Our AS100 will be pre-configured. AS2 now R1 R3 will be doing the configuration. I'll demonstrate the configuration. So yesterday we had seen that we had done IBGP neighborship between R3 and R1 first, right? So let us quickly see the configuration for these two devices. I go to R3. So if you see now, it is telling me this neighbor, it is receiving a message from R8. It is receiving message from R8 that it is in wrong age. Why? Because R8 is still thinking. R8 is still thinking that R3 belongs to which age? AS200. So I need to do that correction on R8. So let me go quickly to R8. It is expecting R3 to be in 200. There you see it is expecting R3 to be in 200, but today R3 is claiming what? When it is sending the messages, it is sending what? AS2. So I need to do this correction. So I go into BGP router BGP80. Okay. I need to go into BGP and I can change. I can remove this statement, no neighbor, and I can put a new statement. I can tell R8, hey R8, R3 belongs to which is 2 now, right? So this will solve the purpose. Let Okay, this solves the purpose, correct? R8 thinking as per the diagram. If you see R8 is in which is AS80, R3 is in which is AS2, but R8 is thinking R3 is in which is AS200, and that's the reason it is telling this neighbor R3 is in wrong AS. It's telling wrong AS, like that message. It's supposed to be in 200, but R3 is advertising in AS2 now. See, it is coming here 0002. So what to do now? So one simple command is what? Tell R3, tell R8 that okay, I'll go and change the command on R8. Okay, neighbor 38.1.1.3. I remove this command and put a new command. Okay, but suppose I don't want to do this. I will show you something on R3. According to R8, R3 belongs to which is 200, right? But if you see, I have configured on R3, which is R3 is in AS2. You can't run two BGPs on a single router. One router can be part of only one autonomous system, cannot be part of two domains, two enterprise, two organizations. That's the reason. Like it's not like EIGRP. In EIGRP, on one router you can, if you want to configure 10 different EIGRPs possible, but in BGP only one BGP. If I go to R3 and I say router BGP 200, what will happen? Immediately I'll get a message. It says no, already BGP 2 is already running. If you want to run 200, you need to remove 2. Only one instance. So what to do? R8 is thinking R3 is in AS200, but R3 is in what? AS2. I don't want to change AS2. I want to keep it AS2. So what I do? I go and tell R3, hey R3, you have this neighbor. So I repeat this command. This is the command for R8. Okay, this is the command for it. R8 is in 80. So I have to tell R3. Okay, I have to tell R3, hey R3, this neighbor in AS80, he thinks what? You are in which AS? AS200. Okay, so let him think you are in AS200. You also pretend that you are in AS200. So I define this neighbor. It is in AS80, and then I say for this neighbor, you pretend. Okay, you pretend you are in AS200. He thinks you are in AS200. Okay, you pretend you are in AS200, and now you see, I will go to R8 now. So far R8 was getting these messages, right? So many time notification message, and now they will form neighborship. See neighborship up. So R8 is thinking R2 is in which is 2. Sorry, 200. If I do show IP BGP summary now on R8, you see it is thinking it will be R3 is in which is 200, but is really R3 in 200? No. So this is like, fooling the neighbor. But what about the routes? What about the routes? How many routes R8 is receiving? 18 routes R8 is receiving. So if I want to see all these 18 routes, what is the command? Show IP BGP. So once I go inside BGP, what do you see here? So you see 200 also and 2 also. The real AS number also. But according for R3, R3 is still thinking what? R8 is still thinking R3 is in which is 200. If you take example 30 is whose route? Actually it is R2's route. But now what R8 will think, this route belongs to what, AS2, and this AS2 is where R8 is thinking AS2 is behind AS200. It is something like this now. For R8, this guy is in AS200, but actually R3 is in which AS? AS2, right? R3 is in AS2 now. He is telling, yes, if you think I am in AS200, okay, I am in AS200. So whatever routes now, suppose R3 has its own route. What it is doing? Normally you send your own AS number. So R3's own AS number is what? 2. So while sending to the neighbor, it has to send 2. But what it does, since this R8 is thinking it is in AS200, it is prepending what? 200 also. So for R8 now, this 30 network of R3, it is as good as what? There is some AS2 behind here. R8 is thinking this is AS200 and there is some AS2 behind. And that's the reason all the routes are coming via AS2. Okay, so this is one way of fooling the neighbor. And then what is happening basically? Even though you're fooling, but you're still sending your real AS number. R3 is still sending the routes, all its route is real AS number, and it is prepending this fictitious AS number. Now there is no 200 AS, but for the sake of R8, it is sending only for per neighbor. It is like that. I can tell R3 also, R3, okay, since your neighbor is thinking you are only in AS200, okay, don't even let him know that you are in AS2. Don't send your original AS, the real AS number. So you repeat that command, local AS command, and you say no prepend replace AS. So if I only say local AS, it will send local AS 200, but it will also send what, the real AS number in the routes. And now you see the difference. This is the previous output, everywhere 2 appearing, and now if I do show IP BGP again, 2 is gone now. See, so for R8 it is as good as what, there is no AS200, it is AS, there is no AS2, it is only AS200. So if you simply say local AS, it is just adding this number, prepending this number and sending to the neighbor. But when I say no prepend, so it is not prepending, it is only sending its own AS number 200 and replacing. Original is replaced by this number, local AS number. So original AS number 2 is now replaced by your fictitious AS number. So this is one way of doing neighborship. Sometimes it happens in a real world. You know, some organization they you know, two companies, two enterprise would like to communicate with each other via BGP. One already has a public AS number, but the other organization still does not have a public AS number. So they said we have applied to IANA to get a public AS number. Right now we are using what? Private AS number. So they tell the private AS number, okay, our private AS number is 65,000. So now the next, let's say R8 is, we configure it as what? We say, okay, this neighbor belongs to 65,000. Now what happens? Maybe after 1 month they get their public AS number. So you call up your neighbor and you tell them that we have got a public AS number. So now please remove the command. But suppose they say, no, we don't want to remove the command. Like that. Not a good practice. This is just a temporary solution. Like that. Best possible is what? Always pair with the real AS numbers. So in your exam, they can ask you, they can show you in the diagram the AS number is showing different, and on the configuration the AS number is different. So you have to change, maybe one router you have to change. just for a one router. You can't do it for all the maybe 10 routers or something. So like this like this scenario in your real exam can come only for maybe one router. If they say one router is misconfigured, maybe R8 they're telling R8 administrator instead of configuring R3 in AS2, he has configured in AS200 like that. Do not, they say, do not do not change the configuration on R8. Configure R3 so that they establish neighborship. So you have to do local is okay. Okay, done. So now what about the other neighbors? So if you see, let us see the configuration for R1 quickly. R1 and so R3 has neighborship with, if you see R3 has neighborship with R6, I have corrected that. R3 has neighborship with R5, that also I have corrected. And if you see now, BGP supports what? Authentication. As I said, control plane what we did. In BGP also we have what? Authentication support. And BGP's authentication is the easiest authentication. BGP authentication is what? Very easy to configure. No concept of keyring, no two command go in the process or go on the interface and do blah blah. Very simple BGP authentication mechanism. BGP uses only what? MD5. There is no clear text. Only one algorithm is there. MD5. Why? Because it is already every organization, this is already a private network. Neighborship is not, see, security problems are when the neighbors will be dynamically discovered, automatically discovered. In automatic discovery, what is the possibility? Some unauthorized router can become neighbor. But in BGP, we clearly define a neighbor, right? We clearly say this IP address and this AS number. So very, security compromises are very less. But still BGP has what? Authentication support. So MD5 is supported. So now what? How many neighbors? R6, R5, R10, and R1. Four neighbors are there. According to the diagram, R3 should be neighbor with 6, 10, 5. That is the eBGP neighbors, and R3 is neighbor with R1. So let us see the BGP neighbor table. Do show IP BGP summary. How many neighborship do I see? I see neighborship with R6, good. I see a number means it is good. I see a neighborship with R5 also, okay, good. I see a neighborship with R8 also good. R10 also is good. But if you see R1 is idle. R1 is idle. We need to check on R1 what's the configuration. Do show run pipe section BGP. So if you see R1 is still configured for BGP 200 and it is still thinking R3 is in which AS 200. So here I will correct it. Okay, we will copy paste this configuration. Go notepad file. We will correct it as 2. Then I'll say R1, R2 belongs to AS2, R3 also belongs to AS2. So configuration done on R1. I come to R1. Let us remove it. Remove the previous BGP. Remove. Copy paste the new BGP on R1. Now R1 should become neighbor with R3. If you see now, R3 becomes, this idle will go, and then we should see a number here. In the meantime, let us go to R2 also, and we should have R2. See, R2 is also showing some wrong configuration. So I will move do show run 5 section BGP. Let us copy this configuration. Do the correction. You have to say hey R2, R4 is in AS1 and R1 is in AS2. You are in AS2 and R1, your neighbor, is also in AS2. Okay. Done. So now I go to R2. No router BGP 200. So I remove BGP. Previous BGP I removed. Let us copy paste. So R2 will pair with R4. R2 will going to pair with R1. And there you see it has become neighbor with 4. It has to become neighbor with 1. Forward R3. R3, R1, they did not become neighbor. The problem is still there. See, word. If I see word means what, neighborship is not up. Let us see what is the problem. Do show run 5 section BGP on R3. R3 thinks R1 is in which AS? See the problem now. R3 thinks R1 is in AS200. So the problem is where? On R3, because R1 we already corrected, right? So what I do now, I go inside BGP already. I am already inside BGP. I'll remove this command neighbor command. I'll say up arrow, put 2, control A, control D, say, then you need what? This command. Done. Now let us see first. Let us get the neighborship up. See, troubleshooting. We are doing troubleshooting exercise now. In your lab, you have troubleshooting. You will have some scenarios where misconfigurations will be there. You need to resolve. And now you see R1 and R3 became neighbor. Neighbor thing, as I said, only 2 things in neighborship. The neighbor IP address must be correct and the AS number must be correct. If the IP address is correct and AS number is correct, they should form neighborship. And in eBGP, the IP address of the neighbor must be what? Directly connected. By default, eBGP, whenever you do eBGP, the IP address for the neighbor, whatever you specify, eBGP expect that IP address to be what? Directly connected IP address of the neighbor. In iBGP, there is no such rule. In iBGP, the neighbor IP address can be directly connected also, and need not be also. Why? Because if you see now in iBGP, we are doing peering using what? Loopback. So loopback IP is not directly connected. Loopback is an interface behind the router. So this is called as what? Logical peering. So iBGP Physical peering also permitted, logical peering also permitted by default. In eBGP, by default, only physical peering is permitted. How to do logical peering, we'll see later. In eBGP also. Can we do, as I said yesterday also, you can do in eBGP also look back peering, logical peering. If reachability is there. If there is no reachability, then only physical peering. So that scenario I'll explain little later. So what is the scenario now? R3 is R3 neighbor with 6, yes. R3 neighbor with 5, yes. R3 neighbor with 8, yes. R3 neighbor with 10, yes. R3 neighbor with 1, yes. Like that. How about 1 now? If you see the diagram now, R1 should be neighbor with how many routers? As of now, R1 should be neighbor with 3 and R1 should be neighbor with 2. That is what they have, I say, as I said, we can make R2 neighbor with 3 also, we can make R2 neighbor with 1 also. And yesterday I already explained why 1. Because of this topology. As per a topology given to you, some neighborship will be defined. They will tell you you have to do neighborship with which router, because since it is explicitly defined in your lab, in your real exam lab, they will be clearly telling you that okay, this router should do neighborship with this router. So you are supposed to do that neighborship only. You cannot do any other neighborship. Okay, we are done now. So this problem is resolved. Let us see now R1, how many neighbors R1 is having. So IPBGP summary. R1 is R1 is neighbor with 3 also, and R1 is neighbor with R2 also, right? Then R2 is neighbor with, R2 should be neighbor with 1 and 4 only, yes. Like that. How about 4? 4 should be, as per the diagram, 4 should be neighbor with 5, 7, 2. There are 2 eBGP neighbors for R4 and 2 iBGP neighbors for R4. So is it like that? Let us see on R4. So IPBGP summary. Yes, see the neighbor with 2 also, it is neighbor with 9 also, it is neighbor with 5 also, it is neighbor with 1 also. So here no problem. Okay, clear guys? Neighborship troubleshooting. Now yesterday we seen, what we were explaining, what I was explaining, that R3, whatever R3 learns about BGP routes, whatever R3 knows the BGP routes, what it will do, it will exchange the routes with its neighbor. So R3 gives the routes to R1. Same way R2 also gives the routes to R1, because they are neighbors now. That is the reason we are done. But what R1 does, whatever it learns from R3 does not forward to R2. Whatever it learns from R2 does not forward to R3. This is called as what? IBGP, rule of split horizon. That what is the meaning of this rule? Your neighbor, let's say this is R1, this is maybe R2, this is maybe R3, R2, maybe 5, maybe 4, like that something. Okay, and these are all IBGP neighbors. I'm writing I here, IBGP neighbors. So now whatever R3 will forward, everybody will forward the routes to whom? This is like hub and spoke it becomes. When you become neighbor, you exchange. So R1 learns about the networks of all the neighbors, all IBGP neighbors. By default, what R1 does? Whatever it learns from one IBGP neighbor, it does not share with other IBGP neighbors. This is called as what? IBGP rule of split horizon. Okay, this is first is what called as what? Rule of split horizon. Why? As I said, why this is rule is there? To ensure that suboptimal routing does not take place. Why R1 is not sharing the route from R3 to R2? Because maybe R1 is thinking, if R3 can give me, R3 can also give to R2. Then why I should give to R2 again? It will be duplication of routes plus unnecessary R2 will, if R3 and R2 they have direct path, then R2 will never prefer me. So it will be simply based in, suppose there is a link between 3 and 2 and you have already done neighborship here, then R3 and R2 also will directly exchange. So sending the routes of one IBGP neighbor to the other IBGP neighbor will become what? Meaningless. Unnecessary, the routes will be stored in the BGP table. Already under think, there are 100,000 routes, let's say, in BGP. You have 100,000 routes in BGP, and now you are advertising another 100,000 unnecessary. The other end router, the CPU memory requirement will go up. So it's not good, basically. So that's the reason this is the rule has been created by default. But now we know that R2 and R3 they are not neighbors, right? So what is the simplest solution? The simple if I want now R3 to communicate with R2, R3 and R2 should exchange their, what I do? I make them neighbors. I want R2 and R5 should also exchange routes, then I make them also neighbors. If I want 5 and 4 to exchange routes, I make them as neighbor. But what about R3 and R5? Will they exchange neighbor? No. That means if I want them to make exchange routes, what I need to do? Make them also neighbor. If I want R3 and R4 to exchange routes, then I make them also neighbor. If I want 2 and 4 to exchange routes, I make them also neighbor. This is called as what? IBGP full mesh. So to solve the problem of split horizon, IBGP rule of split horizon, again I am telling, it is IBGP rule of split horizon. There is no such rule in eBGP. Whatever you learn from one eBGP neighbor, you advertise immediately to another eBGP neighbor. Yesterday I already demonstrated this. Then still some students were asking, is there rule for eBGP? How can it be? I already explained you yesterday. I said R6 routes, R3 is learning, then R3 gave the route to R5, then R5 gave the route to 4, then 4 gave the route to R9, and we saw also on R9 the routes of R6, and we saw on R6 the routes of R9. If rule of split horizon was there in eBGP, then R9 and R6 would never get the routes. They will never have the route. So that means this rule, that's the reason I was telling this is rule what? IBGP rule of split horizon. So the simplest solution to solve this problem is what? IBGP full mesh. Make every router neighbor with every other router in your domain, in your autonomous system. To make every router neighbor, do they need to have a connectivity? Do they need to have a physical link? No, not necessary. That's the reason this is called as what? IBGP logical full mesh. Not necessary, it has to be physical. Even if R2 and R3 this link is not there, if R2 and R3 this link is not there, can we still make them neighbor? Yes, we can make them neighbor because they have reachability through IGP. So this IGP provides reachability for the routers, and that's the reason two routers, even if they are not directly connected, can become neighbor. So this full mesh I have done where? Over here. One solution I have done here. I made R5 neighbor with 7, I made R5 neighbor with 4, then I made R4 neighbor with 7. So they all have full mesh. If you see the configuration, every router in AS100, they are neighbor with each other. So to show you, let us go to R7. If you see R7, if I do show IP BGP summary, R7 is neighbor with 4 also, R7 neighbor is with 5 also. And then if I go to R5, you see R5 neighbor with 7 also, R5 neighbor with 4 also. And then same way R7, R4, if you see R4 is neighbor with 7. So this is full mesh. And that's the reason, you know, R7, R4 will have routes of 5 also, R4 will have routes of 7 also, 7 will have 4 routes of 5, like that. So simple. So in IBGP, if you have n number of routers and they're pairing with some, what will happen? By default, they will not share the routes received from one IBGP neighbor with other IBGP neighbors. So the simplest solution is what? IBGP full mesh. It need not be physical, it can be physical, logical, both, whatever, like that. Once they become neighbor with everybody, then you have what? Exchange of routes. Exchange of routes. Okay. Another reason why this rule of split horizon was already kept, maybe, you know, maybe sometimes you have a requirement, there is a server on only R1 and you want all R2, R3, R5, R4, they should access only the server on R4, they should not communicate with each other. They could be different for different customers also possibly, you know. Maybe R1 is like a service provider router, it is pairing with 4 different customer routers. You don't want customer to customer connectivity. All the customers should access a server on some application server on R1. So by default, see, this happens by default in BGP. Maximum path manipulation. Reason yesterday I said. Okay. So here I have solved that solution. Is it scalable? It's not scalable. Why? Because maybe 3-4 routers are there. We can do like this IBGP full mesh. But just think, large enterprises, if you have hundreds of routers, okay, we are not considering basically service provider. Let's say we are talking about only enterprises, because we are in CCI enterprise infrastructure course, we are not in CCI service provider course, so we are not going to think of very large environment. Let me enterprise, see, difference between enterprise and service provider is compared to service provider, maybe enterprise might be still a small, because some enterprise organization can have only 10 locations also. Some organization can have 100 locations. Some organizations can be large also. So we are talking about enterprises. We are not talking about service providers. So it's not scalable. IBGP full mesh is not scalable. So now, what is the alternate solution? Again, let's say this is R1, this is, let's say, R3, this is R2. Maybe just I'm just not showing all the from more than the 3 routers are enough. So this is IBGP first on top. The diagram what you see, this is like, you know, IBGP full mesh. You are making everybody neighbor with everybody, even though there is no direct connectivity between R3 and R5. If you see the diagram on top, there is no directly connectivity between R3 and R5, or no directly connected 3 and 4, but still we can form neighborship because they have reachability. Over here now, simple thing is what? By default, what is happening now? R1 is receiving route from R3, it is receiving route from R1, R2, it is receiving route from R5, right? R1 is receiving all these routes, it's not giving by default. Normally what happens, whatever you receive from one neighbor, you forward to another neighbor. So this is called as what? Route reflection. Whatever routes you receive from one neighbor, you reflect to another neighbor. In IGP, it happens by default. In BGP also, it happens by default for what? eBGP. But in iBGP, is this route reflection, route exchange is not happening by default, and that's the reason now what I tell R3, sorry R1, hey R1, whatever routes you are learning from one neighbor, suppose whatever routes you are learning from one neighbor, you reflect to other neighbors. Whatever routes you learn from this neighbor, okay, you reflect to other neighbors. And when R1 does that, if R1 is doing that, if I tell R1 to do that, then R1 is becoming what? Route reflector. This is called as what? Route reflector design. Okay, this is called as what? Route reflector design. So I'm telling R1, hey R1, whatever routes you learn from one neighbor, you reflect to other neighbors. Once R1 does that, what will happen? R1 becomes what? Route reflector, like a server, and then these all become like what? Route reflector for R1, who is not exchanging the route. This is all with respect to what? R1's point of view. So they are all what? Route reflector client. I'm just writing RC means route reflector clients. Hmm. Hmm. So if I say R1, here R1 R3 is your route reflector client, R1 is your R2 is your route reflector client, R5 is your route reflector client. Then what will happen? Whatever routes you receive from route reflector client, you will advertise to others. Okay. Now suppose, let me see, on R1, on R1 what I do? I define only one client. I say, hey R1, you are route reflector. Yes, he says yes. When R1 will become route reflector? When I define a client. So I say R1, R3 is your route reflector client. So I configure this on R1. I put this command on R1. I say, hey R1, R3 is your route reflector client. What happens now? Whatever routes you receive from R3, that is client now for R1, R3 is client. What will happen? Will R1 forward this route to 2 and 5? Yes, it forwards the route to 2 and 5. As of now, as of now, what about 2 and 5? Are they clients? No, they are like normal neighbors. They are normal neighbors, or I call them as what? Non-clients. They are non-clients. So when we do route reflector designing, when we go to a router and define one of the neighbor as client, then that that router become what? Route reflector. It is implied. It is implied. There is no command to make a route reflect. It's not like that. I go to R1 and inside BGP I say R1 your route reflector. No, I say R3 your neighbor, one of your neighbor is client. The moment we do that configuration, we define one neighbor as a client. Automatically the router considers itself as what? Route reflector. So now when you define a normal neighbor as a client, then you become what? Route reflector. And now there are other clients also which still you have not defined them as what? Clients. So what happens? Routes received from client will be shared with non-clients. Yes. Routes received from client will be shared with non-clients. Yes. How about non-client routes? Non-client routes can be shared with. Can you share non-client routes with client? Yes. So there are rules of route reflection. To understand that, let me show you a diagram. See here, router reflector design now. R1 is like router. R3, R2, R4, R5, R6. They're like all client IBGP neighbors for R1. By default, R1 is not exchanging route. So now if you see R3 has a network X and R2 has a network Y, and like that other routers. So if you see, what are the rules? Route reflector route reflector client. See RRC have written. Client routes can be given to client. Yes. Client routes can be given to non-client. Yes. What about non-client to client? Yes. What about non-client to non-client? No, this is the default. This is the original. So there are four rules in route reflector design. Client routes can be shared with other clients. Yes, that is good. Client routes can be shared even with non-clients. Yes. Non-client routes can be shared with client. Yes. Non-client to non-client cannot be shared. That is the default. By default, all the routers are what? Non-client. So you are not sharing the routes. But the moment you define one router as client, then the route reflector rules get applicable. Non-client to non-client, never. Clear, guys? If, if this is not clear for some of you, whenever you get the recording, go through the recording maybe twice, thrice, whatever. It all depends on individual to individual. Somebody can understand this in one single listening. Somebody can understand maybe after 3 years. Normal for many people, many students. If you don't have already some exposure to BGP, it may be slightly difficult to understand. But if you have some BGP understanding, basic BGP understanding, it will become easy. So I made a simple like this simple diagram, route reflector design diagram, to make you understand what route reflector to route reflector can be shared. Yes. So now let's see now. Let's see this whatever I'm saying, is it right or wrong? Let's go to R1. Let us see on R1. If you see on R1, R1 is receiving routes of R2 also, it is receiving routes of R9 also. But if I go to R2, so R1 is having how many routes from R3? 19 routes it is having from R3, plus R1 has its own two customers. So actually R1 should forward to R2 how many routes? Maybe around 21 routes it should forward, something like example. But if you see here on R1, R1 is advertising only its own route, only two. It's not advertising the routes which it received from R3, because it is following rule of split horizon. So now I go to R1. So in AS100, sorry, in AS2, I don't want to do full mesh. Full mesh I already shown you with 457. You know how to do this? See the configuration. If you see here, they are normal neighbors, normal IBGP. So R2 is a normal neighbor, and R3 is also normal neighbor, right? Like so now I'm telling R R1, your neighbor R3. Let's say I define R3 as what? A client. I say your neighbor 172.16.3.3, that is R3, is what? Route reflector. So I need to go inside BGP first. Router BGP2. I say, hey R1, your neighbor 172.16.3.3 is what? You don't need to even type full, just type RO, route, then R, finish, like that. Route reflector kind. Once I press enter, what will happen? R1 will become route reflector. There is no command to define route reflector. There is a command to define what? Client. Why? Again, same maximum path manipulation. You want what? Maximum path manipulation. You want to have control in your hand. Which routes must be shared with whom? Just think now. Just think now. Suppose you have, maybe R1 has 10 neighbors, and out of this 10 neighbors, what we did, we defined only first two neighbors. Let's say first two neighbors I defined them as client. Then what happens? Will all the ten neighbors receive each other's route? Will the clients receive all the remaining neighbors' routes? Yes, because client can receive routes from client also. Client route can be shared with client. Client route non-client route also can be shared with client. So clients, the two routers, they are able to access everybody. What about the non-clients? Can non-clients access the routes of clients? Yes, non-clients can access the routes of client. But what about non-client to non-client? No. So you see, we get what? Automatic route control, path manipulation. Suppose instead of like this command, if there was a command on R1, we straight away say R1 your route reflector. What would have happened? Everybody's route would have got exchanged. Everybody gets everybody's route. No, you decide what you want. If you want everybody's route to be you want everybody's route to be exchanged, then you need to define all the routers as what clients. Because if you any two routers, any two neighbors, if they are not clients, then their routes they won't exchange. They won't get each other's route. So it is all up to the requirement of the organization, enterprise requirement, or what you want. These are all policies, routing policies. Which route you want to share with whom, and when we share route, ultimately we share what traffic. So now I do this, finish. If you see now on R2, whatever R1 will receive the routes, whatever R1 receives the route from R3, it will forward to R2, and whatever routes R1 receives from R2, it should forward to R3. Let us see now. Last time it was telling only 2. Let me repeat the command. And now what happened? Only the counter increment by 1. Why? It should become big now. What is the problem? So now even though I am telling R1, hey R1, whatever routes you receive from R3, you can share with other routers, other neighbors. You are a route reflector and R3 is your client. So from client route you can give to non-client. So it is giving, but it is only giving what? Partial. It is only giving partial. Same way, let us see on R3. If you see on R1, R1 is receiving route from R2. Okay. If you go to R3, R3 says R1 is sending only its own 2 routes. So let us see the counter here also. Is R1 exchanging the routes of the clients? And if you see, it is exchanging. It is now sending. Previously, it was sending only 2, but now one more. Only one it is sending. What? Which one it is sending? Let us see. If you see the BGP table, what we observe now, R1 is advertising only R2's own network, own customer. And same way on R2 also, if I see do show IP BGP, I see R1 is advertising only R3's own customer. Whatever R3 is sending routes of other AS, those routes R1 is not exchanging. Why? So now in iBGP you have what? Again rule. See, that's the reason iBGP full of policies. Oh, sorry. Time for us to okay. So we'll see this now. Route reflector, we have solved this. Okay. We'll just take a short break and come back, and then I'll explain why R1 is not exchanging the routes, even though we are clearly telling him you are a route reflector. Okay. The reason I'll explain you. So let me now pause the recording. It was a break. I was doing some other work. Okay. Is the audio clear now? Okay. So let me continue further. So Now the question is why R1, even though we are telling R1, hey R1, R3 is your client, and so whatever you receive from client you can give to non-client, and whatever you receive from non-client you forward to client. Then why R1 is not obeying the command? Admin is the master, router is the slave. The slave should obey the master. Why it is not obeying? Let us see now. As I said, there is a rule. If you want to exchange the routes, whatever in BGP, whatever routes you learn from a BGP neighbor, if you want to exchange with other neighbors, what is the requirement? The routes must be good for your own self. If something is good for me, then only I will exchange with somebody else. If something is not good, I should not exchange, right? This is a good behavior. So if we have something good, we share with somebody. If we have something bad, we normally should not share. But now people do the other way. So now let us see what is good and bad for R1. So let us check again how many routes I'm receiving from R3. 19 routes. I'm receiving from R3 altogether 19 routes. I'm receiving from R2 altogether 8 routes. In these 19 routes, there will be what? Routes of R3's own R3's own routes plus whatever R3 learns from other neighbors. Same way here also. 8 will contain R2's own route plus R2 learns from others, right? Altogether. If I do show what are these routes altogether in my BGP table. So if you see, let us take from R3. 30 basically means what? R3 is route, right? As I said, how you will come to know whether the route is good for you or not? I said yesterday, left side column. Which column? This greater than sign. See this column greater than sign. So for 30, if you see the route which R1 is receiving from from R3, that is 30, it is good. Yes. Why? Because that is own route. Why it is good? Because the next stop which is coming with this route is what? Reachable. But if you see 40, 50, 60, 70, all these routes, there is no greater than sign. That means for R3, all these routes are not good. So if the routes are not good for me, I cannot share it with other neighbors. Why they are not good? Because see the next stop. All this route who is actually forwarding to R3, to R1, R3 is forwarding. All these routes R3 is giving to R1, but R3 what it is doing? It is also following some rule. For its own route, it is sending its own IP as the next stop. But for all the other routes which it is learning, it is sending what? The originator IP. If you see 60, 66, 60, 66 belongs to which is R6. So it is putting R6 IP. Whatever it is R3 is learning from R5, it is putting R5's IP, R4's IP, R8 IP, like that. Now all these IPs, they are what? Link IPs, and in BGP we don't advertise the link. That means R1 does not know. R1 says yes, thank you R3 for giving me all these destinations, but the path you are showing me, that is not good for me. I don't know these guys. I don't know who is this R5. I don't know who is this R4. I don't know who is this R6. I don't know who is this R8. I don't know all these guys. What IP you are sending me? They are not reachable. So in BGP, for a route to be considered as best, the next hop must be what? Reachable. If the next hop is not reachable, those routes will not be best. And if the routes are not best, they do not even go in the routing table. If I see now, if I say do show IP route BGP table, only two routes are there in R2's R1 routing table, one from R3 and one from R2. So again, see the behavior. When you are advertising your own routes to your neighbor in IBGP, when you advertise your own routes to your neighbor in IBGP, you send your own IP address as the next stop. Like R3 is sending 30 to R1. He's telling, hey R1, if you want to go to 30, come to me. This is my route. Same way R2 is also telling R1, R1, this is 20, my customer. You want to go to my customer, come to me. But all the other routes, R3 and R2, they are sending what? The originator. Again, why all these rules? Always to ensure what? Suboptimal routing does not take place. There is always assumption. The routes which I am giving to the neighbor, possibly my neighbor already knows the originators of this route. Because in BGP, you can do peering from anywhere to anywhere. There can be dual homing, there can be there can be multi homing. We are talking about large enterprises. There between two organizations, between two large enterprises, you can't have only single path. There will be always what multiple connectivity. Like over here, say if you see R3 is R3 is multi-homing. R3 is multi-homing with R8, R6, R10, R5, so like that multi-homing. And then AS2 they are doing dual homing with AS1, R3 connecting to R5 and 2 connecting to R4. This is dual homing. This is multi-homing. So possibly R3, what R3 is thinking, whatever routes I'm learning from my neighbors, maybe R1 is also neighbor with R8, maybe R1 is also neighbor with R6. He also knows them directly. So that's the reason, you know, I will send the route so that my neighbor does not prefer my path. If my neighbor prefers me, then it will become for my neighbor what suboptimal. Just think like that. See here, suppose R1, R1, R8 are directly connected. So R1 is all R1 is getting R8's route, and R3 is also getting R8's route, and then suppose R3 forwards this routes to R8 and tells R1, hey R1, you want to go anywhere, come to me. You want to go to R8, come via me. What will happen? If you know, possibly there could be a possibility what maybe R1 will prefer R3 to go here. So this can become what suboptimal routing. So that's the reason by default what is happening, whatever routes you receive from eBGP, when you forward to your iBGP neighbor, routes whatever you learn from eBGP, when you forward to your iBGP neighbor, you don't advertise your own IP address as the next stop. So now what to solve this now? Is R1 having any connectivity to all these neighbors? No. So once we know the reality, so how to solve this? I will go to R3 and tell R3, hey R3, you are sharing the routes with your neighbor. You are giving the routes to your neighbor R1, but you are sending IP addresses of the next stop which is unknown to R1, and because of that R1 does not, or for R1 those routes are not best. R1 does not have any connectivity. So you do one thing, whatever routes you receive, what do you do? For your R1 neighbor, what do? You put your own next hop cell. So this command is done to solve this problem. So next hop cell command has to be done for which neighbors? Only for iBGP neighbors. Remember again, listen carefully. Next hop cell command is done only for iBGP neighbors. Why? Because whatever you learn from eBGP neighbors, if you advertise to iBGP neighbors, by default you don't send your own IP address as the next stop. You're receiving iBGP neighbor will receive the routes, but the routes will not be best for you. So that's the reason now I'm telling, hey R3, now whatever, for this neighbor, whatever, if you are sending anything to this neighbor in the updates, you will always put what next stop cell. So this command is meant only for iBGP neighbor. Even if you do for eBGP neighbor also, let's say suppose somebody does not know where to put next stop cell, so he will he blindly is doing. Maybe if I do this command for eBGP neighbor 5.5.36.6, and I say next stop cell, see command is there because router does not understand. See command is accepted, but it's not going to work because anyway by default for eBGP you are already sending your own AS number. In eBGP no rule. See the diagram. From R6 you receive routes. When you give to R1, you are sending what? What next stop you are sending? R6 IP here by default. But same routes when you are giving to your eBGP neighbors. What next stop you are giving? Your own R3. This is the default. That means in eBGP you don't require to do anything. In eBGP you always advertise your own IP as the next stop. Anything you give to eBGP neighbor, you will advertise your own IP because you want the traffic. If I advertise the route, then my neighbor will send me traffic. Why like this? Because please understand AS6 and AS90. Here AS90, AS6. how they will communicate, how they can communicate. They can't have direct link. Everybody cannot have direct link to everybody. So they go through what? AS1. So the traffic, suppose I use a different color. So there is a customer here, there is a customer here. So if they are communicating, how the traffic will go like this? Maybe it goes this way. So basically the traffic between AS90 and AS6 is traversing through which AS? AS1 and 2. And then if this thing happens, then what will happen? AS1 and AS2, they will charge this customer. They will say, see, you're using our network. We are forwarding your traffic. So you have to pay us something. This is called as what? Interconnect charges. If somebody this is not clear, it's like very easy to understand example is what? Roaming, mobile roaming. Every mobile operator, every mobile service provider cannot have network everywhere. So what the mobile service operators they have done? They have done some agreement that my customers, if they come in your area, you provide them the network. Your customers, if they come in my area, I will provide them the network. That's the reason if you see in some countries the roaming charges are higher still. Why? Because ultimately you are exchanging somebody else's traffic unnecessarily. Nobody will do free of cost. Clear? So eBGP no rule, but in iBGP you have rule. That's the reason iBGP is not, you should never do, as far as possible iBGP should be avoided. But we don't have any alternative within the organization. If you want to extend very large number of public routes, you need to run you need to run BGP on every one route, every router of your network, and that's the reason it becomes iBGP. It administrative distance for iBGP, that's the reason very high, 200. You see, it is better compared to even the IGPs. A router will prefer RIP against iBGP, but a router will prefer eBGP against any other routing protocol, because eBGP administrative distance is 20 lowest. So eBGP wins against all IGPs, and iBGP loses against all IGPs. So if you see previously, R1 was not forwarding the routes of R3 to R2. Let us see now. Last time R3, last time if you see from R1, you have only one route. Only one route came from R3. And now if you see, if I do again, do show IP BGP summary. Last time R2 was getting only 3 routes, and if you see now, 19 plus 2, R1 is receiving 19 routes from R3. All the 19 routes have become now good for R1. So if the routes are good, it can share with other neighbors. We already told him that you are route reflector, so you can share the routes, whatever you learn from client, you can give to non-client. So this proves that what I've shown you is true. This one, see, client routes have been forwarded to non-client. So this has been proved. What about non-clients to client? Non-clients to client also has been proved. Whatever are from R1, whatever routes R1 is learning from R2, it is forwarding to R3, provided they are good for R1. So let us see the table now of R1. Again, we go to R1. Again, show IP BGP. The routes which are coming from R2, are they good for R1? If you see from routes here, these are coming from R2, because R4 IP address. R1, if you see the topology, R1 is not at all connected to R4. R4, they are not good. They are not good. Though no greater than sign here, no? Because they are not good. So same thing. What is the solution? I need to tell R2. Hey R2, you know your IBGP. This is R1 is your IBGP neighbor. So anytime you are forwarding the routes to your IBGP neighbor, you put next of self. Why? Because if you don't do this command for all eBGP routes, R2 when it gives to R1, it will put what originating router IP address, and for R1 this will be all not good. Once I've done this now, even R3 will receive. Last time if you see R3 received only how many routes? 2. R3 was receiving only 3. R2 is one route and 2 original. Now if I do on R3, do show IP BGP summary, we'll see the counter has increased. From R1 it is learning 8 routes already. So clear next of self command. I'm teaching something else, and some students are, instead of focusing over here, they are talking, they are thinking of some other command. I don't know. Please, please do not divert the focus of the lecture, because what happens, this becomes disturbing. I'm discussing something, and some of you are putting a query from totally irrelevant to the discussion right now. Like that, everybody will have some, like there are, suppose there are 100 students. 100 students have seen some BGP configurations and have come across some command, 100 commands. You can't explain them all the 100 commands at one time. Try to understand, no? Please. So this is not going to do good for everybody. Everybody will have some query like that. It must be pertaining to the topic right now going on, like that. Here I'm showing you that what happens, just simply forming neighborship, the routes don't get exchanged. First get the routes exchanged, then we'll see advanced configurations. Okay, so please, when the once see when if once I say BGP is over, okay, of course everything cannot be covered here. We have a time. I have been given a time bound, you know timetable. It's like basically that, okay, only this much time I need to cover the whole CCA enterprise infrastructure. We have to complete all that, everything. So everything cannot be explained. Each and everything in BGP cannot be explained. Maximum things I am trying to explain. Because many people, they know the commands. Many of the students, they know the command basic. We are not talking advanced. Basic commands also people know, but they don't know what to do. Road reflector, many people know. Next of cell command, many people know, but when to do, why to do, that is important, no? These are all basic things. Same way over here also. Let us go to here also. I have done IBGP here between 5 and 7. So if you see, whatever R5 is going to learn from its neighbors, eBGP neighbors, it will forward to 5 and it will forward to R7 and R4. And by default, what R5 will do, it will send originating route IP address. So same thing. Let us go and check on R7 now. What's the situation? Is R7 receiving route from its neighbors? Yes, see, it is telling I'm receiving R5. From R5 I'm receiving 17 routes. From R6 I'm receiving 6 routes. Like that, some counters. Oh, okay, almost 18 equal. Because as per the diagram, if you see, for R7 5 and 7 are equal. Even the links I have kept almost similar. Serial link I have kept. So like for R7 they are as good as what? Equal. So the route, what about the route? Are they best? If I go to R7, if I do the show IP BGP, what do you see? Only some routes are best. Out of 18 routes, all the 18 routes should go inside the routing table. But if I do show IP route BGP, you see, I see All these routes going inside R7. Yes, all these routes are going inside R7, like that. All the routes are best. Yes, all the routes are best. Everywhere I see what greater than sign. Now if you see, all the routes are there in the routing table. That means what has happened? Why like this? Because I must have already configured the next of cell. So now if I do show run on R5 section BGP, that next of cell command will make some sense to you now. So have I done the next of cell command? Yes, if you see for R5, R4 is a IBGP neighbor, R7 is a IBGP neighbor. So my IBGP neighbors I will always put what next of cell. Same way R7 have I put the configuration. For R7 also he has two neighbors, IBGP neighbors. For both the IBGP neighbors have a configured next of cell. So you have to remember anytime you have next IBGP neighbors, what is next of? If you see, I have not put here next of self command for R4 and R5. I have not put in right now. No problem. Right now, no problem. Why? Because if you see the diagram, R7 is not connected to any other router. But now, suppose here R7 pairs with another AS. There is some another AS here. And then if these routes come to R7 and if R7 forwards to R5 and R5, what will happen? They will not be good for 5 and 4. So in the exam, in your real exam, they if they tell you configure BGP as per the diagram only. So if you see the diagram and if you find that R7 is not pairing with any eBGP neighbor, that means it's not going to have any eBGP route, then for iBGP neighbors you don't require an XSL command. Okay, but they show you in the exam, just imagine they show you this diagram, you get some diagram and they say configure BGP, in a scalable way, ensure that all the routes will be exchanged successfully. So they're telling you that it has to be in a scalable way. Scalable way means what? Tomorrow, suppose R7 pairs with maybe multiple AS and in all the routes it receives, if it exchanges with its neighbor, it must be what? Reachable. They must be all valid routes, reachable. Then you need to put next of self. So please understand, just knowing the command and blindly putting the command. Many people say yes, always anytime you IBGP neighbor you have to put next of self command. No, it depends on the scenarios in the real exam. To put or not to put doesn't matter. In the real world, if you put also doesn't matter. It will be good only. But in exam, as I said, it's not an exam of only best practices. According to the scenario, according to the task given, you need to do the configuration. So that's the reason I have not done next of self command. Why? Because now maybe I my task is what? There are no eBGP neighbors, so I did not do over here. Okay, but R1 is R7 advertising his own customer? Yes, it's R7 own customer 70. Is it good for? Yes, for your own route there is no rule. For your own route you always advertise what? Your own is own IP address. So if I go to R5 and if you see do show IP BGP focus on 70, see 70, it's good, greater than sign. Okay, I explained you clear route reflector. I explained you next of self command. Let us do neighborship. In neighborship, as I said, BGP supports authentication. Okay, so I say let's say I give the task, you know, R3, R5 communication must be secured. This communication between 3 and 5 BGP communication. We are talking about communication is BGP. This BGP communication must be what? Secured. That means what? I need to do authentication. Okay, and the password what they ask me to configure is what? See the password. They say configure this password. It is not Cisco, it is C question mark SCO. So in the passwords, what is given, if you configure BGP between R3 and 5, I mean you configure authentication also and it is working also, but instead of the password given, whatever is given, you are putting some different password. Your BGP score will come 0. So whatever they tell you, you have to configure. Okay, now what is the problem in BGP? What is the problem in this password? This question mark. Why this is a question mark? Because in Cisco iOS, the question mark is what? A help command. You cannot use it like a character in a string. Normally, if you want to use question mark as a character in our password, we can use it. We can do it. We use special characters, so question mark can be also be used. But in in Cisco routers, question mark is what? Help command. It's an help command. If I put question mark on a router, it shows me the list of command options available, right? So let us go to now R3 and R5. Let us see normally are they neighbor. First of all, are they neighbor with each other? If you see R3 and R5, they are neighbor right now. How is the configuration? How is the configuration right now? Normal, if you see just normal plain eBGP have done, that's it. So is there authentication between them? No, there is no authentication between them. It is between 3 and 5. Suppose if I put up a sniffer here, if you put up a sniffer here, the BGP messages which they are exchanging now, let us put a filter BGP. So if you see, if everything is good, there will be only keep alive messages. Every 60 seconds you have keep alive. There are no hello mechanisms, only keep alive making messages. Keep alive notification. There are 4 BGP messages in. What are the 4 BGP messages? Open send, open messages, keep alive, notification. Then what is the fourth one? The fourth one is updates. So there are only 4 types of BGP messages. Keep alive, if everything is good, keep alive. If something goes wrong, notification. If you remember in the beginning, the routers we are seeing notification, the AS number was wrong. That is notification. And when you advertise some route, it will be what? Update. So if I open these messages, this is a keep alive message. See TCP port number 179. Keep alive messages. Just a small message. Suppose I go on one neighbor. I say neighbor R3. You can even down a neighbor R3 35.1.1.3. I can make a neighbor down also temporarily directly. Keep a neighbor down. So you are not informing also the other neighbor. Because keep alive. How how long R3 will come? R3 will realize the neighbor is down after how much time? Hold time. There is an hold time. Default keep alive is what? 60 seconds. Default hold time is what? 3 times the hold time. That is 180. After 180 seconds, R3 will come to know that it is not getting any messages from R5 because R5 have done what? Shutdown. Sit down. Go to IPBGP summary. If you see, here you see again a word. Anytime you see a word, basically means what? Neighborship is not up. Number means what? Neighborship is up. Let us configure on R3 now neighborship authentication. Very simple. As I said, authentication is the simplest thing in BGP. How we do that? We say neighbor. Which neighbor I want to authenticate? R3. What is the IP address of R5? 31.1.5. Neighbor, you see here 31.5. R3 is still thinking that neighbor is up. Still thinking neighbor is up. And now if you see, it's getting a message neighbor 35.1.1.5 down. Peer close the session. And you see now it has gone into active state now. Where you're not even exchanging that message. No message has also come because image when I say shutdown, R5 cannot send any message to R3 now. And if R3 also cannot send any message because it knows down the neighbor is down now. Here close the session. Anyway, let us configure. I say hey R3, you have your neighbor 35.1.1.1 and you now you need to 35.1.1.5 and you need to do what? Authentication. And how you do? Just specify the password. That's it. You don't need to tell MD5 because only MD5 is the mechanism. Simple. See, it's so easiest authentication among all the routing protocols. Just go to the neighbor and put the password. Now, what is the password? They said C question mark. How do I get question mark? To get question mark, you need to type what? First Control plus V. Type Control plus V. See, if I directly, if I put question mark, if I put question mark, it becomes unrecognized command. If you try to directly put question mark, C question mark, it will not become. It can only become CSCO. No. If I want question mark, what I need to do first? Control plus V. V for victory. Then put question mark. See now the question mark has come, and now you can set this password. And now if you see neighbor 60 messages started, reset. No MD5 digest. Now if I go to R5 now, I again make that enable. I put that shutdown command. I remove this shutdown command. I say no neighbor shutdown. And now what R5 will do? It will send normal messages. R3 will accept the normal messages. No, it will say no, I want MD5 messages. I want from the neighbor MD5 messages. Neighborship will never come up. If you go to R5, do show IP BGP summary. The neighbor is stuck inactive now. So now what I need to do? Let us take TCP messages and see what is going on. So here you see TCP, there are so many TCP messages from 3 to 5 because BGP messages will be visible only neighborship is up. So now what is happening in the TCP from 3 to 5 and 5 to 3? Let us pick up 3 to 5 packet, TCP packet. So this is a message from TCP, and you see here what TCP is telling, there is an MD5 signature. Password has been sent MD5. Whereas if I pick up a packet from R5 to R3, if you see when I pick up a packet from R5, there is no TCP. There is no TCP now. MD5 message. So mismatch, authentication mismatch, and that's the reason they are not forming neighborship only. So BGP messages cannot be because first thing is what they need to do what? TCP three-way handshake. So many times two routers want to become neighbor, they'll do first what? TCP three-way handshake on port number 179. Once the TCP three-way handshake is successful, then BGP own messages like open message, keep alive, notification can be exchanged. Now what is the solution? Go to where? Go to R5 and you have to tell R5, hey, R5 your neighbor R3 is expecting authentication 35.1.1.3. This guy needs what? A password. And what is the password? C control plus V, leave it, then question mark, then SCO, control plus V. Like that, you have to control plus V, press, leave it, then type whatever keyword, control plus V. Then you see immediately neighborship is up. So once neighborship is up, now they will exchange what? BGP messages. And you see now so many BGP messages. See update messages and all the update messages. See update messages, open messages. BGP messages will be exchanged only for three-way handshake is TCP three-way handshake is successful. See the password is not seen also. Whatever password we send, put clear text. It's not clear text. They are not exchanging this thing. Okay, so authentication clear. So BGP authentication very simple, just neighbor and whatever password you want to set. And if only one important is what, that's question mark. Otherwise all other characters easy. Like anywhere you set up whatever password you want, alphanumeric, special characters, everything is permitted except question mark by default won't come. And for that also I've shown you now control plus V you need to do. Anytime you want to use password with question mark as one of the character. So okay, clear everybody? BGP neighborship, in neighborship you can do IBGP neighborship, eBGP neighborship, without authentication, with authentication. Then if your neighbor thinks you belong to some AS, you can fool that neighbor. You can let that neighbor still believe that okay, you are in so and so AS, and local AS command I have explained you, next of cell command I have explained you, route reflector I have explained. Correct? Then we have also seen what, already covered what, two attributes, origin code and AS path list. I explain you how they are done, how they are set, and where they are used. They are also used in what, BGP BGP best path selection process. So maybe tomorrow session we'll start the attribute manipulation, the path selection. From tomorrow onwards, it will go into further now. So we'll see from tomorrow path manipulation. Maybe we will have some task, we'll have some requirement, and then according to the requirement, we'll do the attribute manipulation. Okay, guys. So we end for the day today. We continue from tomorrow.